She hands it off to Jackson. Jackson uses the screen, lost the handle, bounce pass to Plum. Plum loses it, regains it, throws it up for grabs. Grabbed by Boston out of the sky, and we're going to have a foul here. No, a timeout taken by Indiana.
What I love the most about this squad is that, just like O said, like we instill confidence, the coach instills confidence that any shot you take, shoot it with confidence because we trust you and we trust that you're going to make it. And I feel like that's just really helped us down the line because no matter who comes in, no matter who steps up, we're all just really happy for each other.
Aliyah Boston didn't just talk after the game. She backed it up. In a season where the Fever had been crushed by injuries, she exploded for 22 points, 11 rebounds, and a career-high 6 steals, sealing the win with a defensive stop that shut the door on LA. Her post-game words had every Fever fan buzzing, and it might just explain how Indiana pulled off their biggest victory of the year. Because even with momentum shaky and the rust to bruise, one unlikely hero sparked a fire that changed everything. This is how the Fever turned adversity into their defining moment. If you're fired up for the team, drop a big Fever win in the comments. Let's go.
Fever dog! Bow, bow, bow! Hell yeah!
Fever, hell yeah. How do you win when half your roster is stuck in street clothes? That was a challenge Indiana carried into Los Angeles. Caitlin Clark sidelined, Sophie Cunningham out, Sydney Coulson and Ori McDonald missing. 4 guards, 4 creatives, 4 voices gone from the rotation. For most teams, that's a death sentence in a playoff-level matchup. But the Fever didn't have the luxury of giving in. They showed up with nothing to lean on except grit, toughness, and a belief that whoever was left standing would find a way.
The resilient, nature of our team. I think one other thing that sometimes goes missed is just the character of these women, right? Especially this group that's been here, that's gone through all of this, and then the ones that we brought in. We brought in with O and Shay and AP. I mean, these are women who care about winning. These are women who care about one another. These are women who sacrifice every single day.
It wasn't just the injury list that made this game heavy. This wasn't some throwaway August matchup. The Sparks weren't just another opponent. They'd beaten Indiana 3 straight times this season, each loss more frustrating than the last. And the standings made it even scarier. The Fever were clinging to 6, while Los Angeles sat just 2 games back in 9th, ready to close the gap in a heartbeat. With 4 losses in their last 5, the question hung over Indiana. Were they about to collapse at the worst possible time?
Steph mentioned, whenever she sees you with the 2 black eyes, she smiles in a way because it just exemplifies your toughness. Do you feel tough in these kinds of situations with these 2 black eyes?
I mean, that's what people keep telling me. Every time she sees me, she smiles and then she says, "I'm so sorry." I'm like, you don't need to be sorry. This is what it is. And when I'm playing, I forget about it, and then I go and look at the mirror. I'm like, oh shit, they're still there. So yeah, I don't really think too much about it because I don't necessarily feel them all the time.
Yeah, and you're still able to see completely fine.
Yep.
Right.
Nothing's changed.
All right, perfect.
Picture the challenge. A team that looked fragile from the outside, staring down the final 5 games of the season with patchwork lineups. At this point, it wasn't about finding rhythm or flow. It was about survival, possession by possession. That mindset became their blueprint. Every player who checked and had to do more than their usual role. Every minute carried weight, and every stat line had to mean more than numbers on a box score.
Originally, I was like, I just need to get the swelling to go down in my forehead. So I put a patch, slept with it. The next day, woke up and I was like, okay, the bump is almost gone, but now I have 2 black eyes. So that was tragic. But I mean, it's at this point, it's unfortunately won't be able to hide it. People know, so just rolling with it.
Were you able to hide it for the photo shoots?
The makeup artist did a really, really, really good job. And people that hadn't met me before were like, oh, I can't even tell. I'm like, okay, that's good. We'll take it. But I'm hoping they'll do some editing in the post.
And then there was Lexi Ho. 2 black-eyed from her collision with Gabby Williams in the last game, and yet she never backed down. Still diving for loose balls, still chasing through screens, still digging into defenders. She wasn't just playing, she was setting the standard. Hull embodied exactly what Indiana needed that night. Show up even when it hurts. Her presence alone sent a message. If she could fight through, then so could everyone else in Fever Red.
I imagine on Tuesday you got checked for concussion, facial fracture. Just how much of a sigh of relief was it that you didn't have concussion or any kind of fracture in your face?
Yeah, honestly, when it happened, I was relieved because I could feel myself I was good to go. Like, I felt completely with it. They did all the tests they needed to do and put ice on it right away, try to, keep the swelling down. But I felt good knowing that, like, obviously it could have been a lot worse. And I'm grateful for the people online wanting to check on me and make sure that I'm okay. But I'm okay. I've been fully checked out.
That's what made this game feel different. It wasn't about highlight passes or flashy runs. It was survival. Every stop, every rebound, every bucket carried weight. One good push from LA could have flipped it, but Indiana never cracked. Possession by possession, they matched the Sparks' urgency and refused to let the standings slip.
We dug in. It wasn't ideal in terms of how the game was. It was ugly. We had moments where we were better than others, but we dug in. I mean, when you think about key defensive stops, key offensive rebounds, like AB's key offensive rebound there at the end, making plays, deflections that led to steals or deflections that led to bobbled passes.
By refusing to crack under pressure, Indiana created space for an unlikely hero. Out of that gritty, short-handed fight, a veteran finally sees her moment. Odyssey Sims didn't just check in. She transformed the game. This night was supposed to be about survival, about patching together minutes just to escape with a win. Instead, a 31-year-old coming off the bench became the closer every Fever fan was waiting for. And against Los Angeles, the team she once called her own, it hit different. Every possession looked personal, every shot carried history. You could feel it. This wasn't just another game for Sims.
Sims left open for three. She got it. Offensive rebound. Sims the runner. Here's Howard. Shovels Sims right at the doorstep, and she gets it off the window. 3-on-3 the other way. Sims the take and finishes the lefty layup.
At this point in her career, nobody circles Odyssey Sims' name on the scouting report. She's not the star like Boston or Clark, and she's not the volume scorer like Mitchell. But on a night when Mitchell struggled to just 5 of 14 from the field, Sims refused to let the offense collapse. She stepped in with poise, made quick, fearless decisions, and carried possessions as if every touch was years in the making. What was supposed to expose Indiana's weakness instead revealed their unexpected strength, a veteran guard turning into the steady hand and spark that kept the Fever alive.
Good job, ladies! I'm really proud of you guys. That was an ugly, hard-fought win. Hard-fought win. And listen, we know that we didn't play our best basketball, and in those moments where we needed a stop, or we needed a big bucket, that you don't teach. And y'all got it. So again, marrying our energy effort with our execution. Okay, that's our journey. But this is a hard win right here. I'm proud of you guys. Great job. Together, 1, 2, 3. Together.
That's why this win hits harder than the final score suggests. It wasn't just about getting through a tough night shorthand. It was a glimpse of what this team is becoming. Indiana didn't just survive. They proved they can fight, execute, and finish without their brightest star on the floor. And with Caitlin Clark inching closer to her return, the Fever don't look like a team barely hanging on. They look like a group learning how to win when it matters most. That kind of growth can change a season, and it's the reason hope for 2025 feels more alive than ever. If you're fired up for this squad, drop a big Fever win in the comments. Hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next breakdown.